Hey everybody, we have got Bitcoin today on January 6th, and we are going to map out our price action here. Let's see where we're at. As you can see from the thumbnail and the title of this video, we are ranging between 94,000 and 91,000. So let's see what we have going on. So we're starting on the weekly here. And we've discussed the monthly and the 2 week before, so if you want to see that, you could hop in the previous videos there to check that out. But we'll hop in the weekly so we're not too repetitive here, and we can get a general analysis of what we got going on. Just to start off on the weekly, we have some bullish divergence in saying that our lows here from one low to another is increasing, and on the RSI from one low to another we're decreasing. So we're going to call that bullish divergence. That's the name of the pattern there. So yeah, just showing you on the weekly, this is where we're at. We'll put some support and resistance lines based on the weekly chart. And yeah, we'll nail them right here. We'll do it at the tops of this price action. And then what we'll also do is, we could probably squeeze one right there and another one right here, just to show you guys where we closed out. And then let's get some support lines, and we'll make those green. And here we go. Yeah, so you could follow along and start drawing these support and resistance lines on your own charts. But this is just to show you how we have a general idea of where we're going to be. All right, and then we can start adjusting these. You know, the more touches that you have on these by the wicks, the better. The more confirmations of this support and resistance. Let's see, yeah, maybe. Nah, I think that's going to be a good line right there. All right. You know, even this one, yeah. I think we're going to remove that. Let's get rid of some of the nonsense, and then you can get rid of that. All right, a little cleaner. So we have our weekly, and right now our support lines are ranging from 58,000 to 119,000. It's a pretty big range. We'll just see what that is. But 100% range there, yeah. Interesting. All right, well, yeah, that's just on the weekly, and we'll use that going forward. So our stochastic RSI right now is currently curling up. Ooh. There we go. So yeah, we'll see where that price action leads us to. So with this stochastic RSI going up, you know, we could expect price to also go up. But it's not just going straight up to new highs. What we're likely going to do is start testing these support and resistance levels. And if we were to go up, we'd probably go up in some kind of pattern like this, where we confirm our support and resistance lines as we go up. You know, we test the resistance, get rejected. Test the support, confirm it. Go above, break the resistance, test the next resistance line, you know, fail to cross above that, come back down, test the previous resistance, which is now flipped to support, and we just keep doing that. Break the next resistance, test the last resistance. Break the next resistance, test the last resistance. So, yeah. That's you know, something we could expect there with the stochastic RSI going up there, and with our support and resistance lines. But that's a very general, you know, very general idea of how to estimate where we're going to go. It's more of estimating a path of how we would get there. So one thing we could do here now is we'll start flagging this out. I'll get rid of the weekly bullish divergence that we saw there. We're already starting to see that reversal and the move to the upside. So we'll see on the 6-day chart, we've started to increase. We're getting this green R right here is part of the stochastic RSI indicator, just showing some bullish trends. You can see we've had those back here and showing some decent pumps. These indicators, though, are not 100%, and I wouldn't even say they're close to it. A lot of times where these get faked out, so, you know, it's just something there. Take it with a grain of salt. So, yeah, right now we're on the 6-day. We still have room to go up, and we're at this resistance point. So it looks like we could break above it and possibly test this resistance now as future support if we break above, you know, this like 95,000 range. So this is on the 6-day. The RSI has broken over the RSI moving average. So things to look at, the money flow is getting down. It's pretty low. So, this could have a trend that, our money flow is basically coming out of the market, and it is kind of bearish. So something to look at. And we'll take a projected move of this flag. And since we came in from the top portion of that, our exit would be down the bottom of it, just as the pattern would generally play out. So estimate of about 66,000. You could be a little more conservative and take the projected move at these wicks or these candle closes, and a more conservative projection there would be about 73,200. So just different ways on how to project that. You could either project the bottom and tops of the wicks to get like a maximum, you're basically looking at the maximum volume in this price action, and then you're projecting that over to the next section. That's the maximum. But one thing you could do is take the candle lengths, these candle closes, and it's a more conservative value. You're going to get less of a move, which means this 73,000, if we were to go down, is more likely to hit than this 66,000. Just a little way to interpret it. It's nice to have two, because for all we know, we have an order here at 66,000 to buy or sell on a trade, and for all we know, it could hit 67,000 and just reverse up. So let's just all take it in with a grain of salt and see what we're projecting here. And yeah, that's on the 6-day. Hop on the 3-day real quick, and you see we are up high on the stochastic, and we are at resistance on the 3-day. So one thing that I would like to see here, since we are above this 200 moving average, this yellow line, it would be ideal in the bullish case to play around in this area, because if you consolidate here, you're likely to bring this stochastic RSI back down to reset, and then look for a bigger move to the upside. So just something on the 3-day. Right now it's looking like we are going to test support levels again. So one thing I'll do is I'll include this support level back again. I think this is going to be a local support that we're going to hit in the near term, and that's just for a 3-day consolidation period. I think we're going to hit 91,000 sooner than later. 91,300 to be exact, and that's based off of this candle close on the 3-day. So we're using that as support, and we're going to project further down. We'll have another support line right there at the 88,000. That was another candle close right before we started to break out. So we're going to be testing those those prices if we come back down here. So things to look out for. On the daily, so on the daily, something interesting here is we are getting some bearish divergence. And that is seen because our price action has increased a little bit from high to high, but not much. And our RSI has increased substantially, I guess a greater increase. The rate of increase is greater on the RSI. That is showing some divergence. So that's a bearish trend, and definitely could come back down. And when I say back down, I mean basically back down is just this stochastic RSI move. If there is bearish divergence here, and it calls for a lower move, we're going to get that lower move. But the thing is, where is that lower move going to end us to? Is it going to go all the way down to 80,000? I mean, probably not likely. We have other support levels here. So, what we want to do on the daily is start bringing this RSI, stochastic RSI, down, because we do have some bearish divergence. A lot of buying pressure here, and not enough sell-off pressure. So, in order to balance things out, the chart would likely, just the price action would likely do that, based on trends. So, something to look at. And then on the 18, So as we get smaller these down these time frames, you can see that we hit that resistance and now we're coming back down. We're consolidating. So we came down and then we came right back up. Now we're coming back down again. We're consolidating, and that consolidation is bringing down this RSI, and we're basically at the same level. Even though this indicator is coming down, we're pretty close to the level that we're trading at in this range. We're not spiking a lot. We're consolidating in here. So something to look at. 18 hours consolidating right now. We could put in another flag. But let's get a little closer and let's see exactly what we got going on. So one thing I've been looking at recently, and I've been noticing this, is the 9-hour time frame is a pretty good buy indicator on this stochastic RSI. So I was looking for a time frame where, if you're making spot trades, what's a good indicator to figure out where exactly a buy opportunity would be? So whenever we get below this dotted line, this 20 value on the stochastic RSI, on the 9-hour time frame, here time frames are important. So on the 9-hour time frame, stochastic RSI below the dotted line at 20, that's a buying opportunity. Boom, right here, stochastic RSI, low, buy, up. Right here, stochastic RSI on the 9, low, buy, going up. Here we go again, low, up. And, the tops are a little bit more tricky. It's a little tricky to find out what you're doing. But if you're spot trading here, these are great opportunities to buy. You're buying at the lows. So buy low, sell high kind of thing. You could also call the 9 hours a sell point also. This one wasn't too strong as a sell call here, but we were at the highest level. It's not perfect. Nothing's going to be perfect here, but it definitely tells you a pretty good story. And I found that this time frame is going to be the one that I use going on, from now on until I found a new one, a better one, or maybe I just stick with this one. I'm going to test it out and keep going with it. So far, it's been working out well. So just a little piece of information there. 9-hour time frame, nice for buying opportunities. Could be good for selling opportunities. I just haven't sold any at this overbought region. I've just been buying spot prices at the 9-hour. And you can see how this interacted in previous actions here. You're finding the lows on this 9-hour stochastic. Hit low, low, low. Not really that low here. Yeah, another low. So it's definitely worth it to at least look at that 9-hour time frame and see if it matches up with your trading style. So here we go in the 3-hour. And the 3-hour has already brought the consolidation, or the consolidation has brought the stochastic RSI down below that 20, and now we're curling back up. So as you can see, yeah, we're just playing right here in this range, and I think this is good. Consolidating here at a resistance level like this, we start resetting the RSIs, resetting the averages, and we can start seeing some bullish moves for Bitcoin here. And this move right here, if we break out of this, first of all, not only are we breaking out of this bear flag, and the projected move for that is 98,700, but we're also projecting out of this major bear flag. I'm not sure if I call this smaller one a bear or a bull flag, but this is a bull flag. So if we break out of this bull flag, price is 98,700. That's the price target. If we break out of this bear flag, with the price action indicating that we're going to go down, but if we break up, we have a much bigger move here. And if we break up, it looks like we're going to be hitting that $109,000 for Bitcoin. So, yeah, this is interesting. We're right at that level where, something's going to happen. It's either we're gonna break above, or we're gonna stay within the ranges, or we're just gonna shoot down. So ideally, if we want a bullish case, let's play within this range, start breaking out. Something like that. That would be ideal. We could start going out to here, and then how that would play out. But yeah, it's just nice. But I'll get rid of that. And then we also have the path where we can consolidate and then just keep going down. Well, I don't know, we can do a lot from there. So yeah, we could just keep going down. Yeah, and we have that 73 target. Yeah, so you know, all this is in place still. It's not like, oh, we're in a bull flag, so we're going to go up. So listen, there's things on the big time frame saying we're going down, small time frame saying we're going up, and if we're looking for a reversal here, the small time frames are going to lead us out of it. So let's see, got the 1 hour here, and this 1 hour. So we're reaching overbought on the stochastics, and we are making kind of like a lower high. I mean, I wouldn't even call that a high. I would say this is our previous high, and this is our previous high. So we're just making lower highs here. Kind of bearish in the short term, looking like we're going to come back down to the downside and consolidate a little more, which is healthy. I mean, we have bigger time frames that need to cool off, so a consolidation here is worth it. It's worth it for healthy price action. So I wouldn't get discouraged with the little move in between this 94,000 and 91. I believe this is the range that we're in. We're playing here. We're going to hit both. This morning we hit 94, and then in the afternoon we hit 91. So I think it's likely we do that again, or at least within that range. And we have on the 1 hour, we have the 200-day moving average coming up. So this 200-day moving average is going to be another support level at this 1 hour. So we have some support coming up here. We also have bearish indicators on the higher time frames. So, we need to have some sell pressure, confirm some support levels, and see if we could, estimate a higher move here. 15-minute is looking like it is oversold on the stochastic. And, this is not done yet. That candle still has time to play out. And we haven't seen a reversal yet, so for all I know, that could just go straight down. But if this stochastic RSI is telling us anything, this is close to the low, and our last low is here, which means we would be making a higher low. So it could be start of something. But, this is the 15-minute. This changes every 15 minutes. So, as we go to the higher time frames, we can zoom out and see exactly what we have going on. We have some price predictions here. We have 109,000, 98,700, 73,000, and 66,000. So we have two projections with two trades each. So two trades going down, two trades going up, depending on the risk level. I figure this is good analysis to get you guys seeing how I project these charts, and you could figure out how you would like to use them or use these techniques to your advantage. So, wish you best of luck in the market and much love. Have a good one.